Welcome to Soul Tales Daily, where simple stories echo deep emotions, joy, sorrow, greed, and glimpses of humanity. Stay a while, maybe you'll find yourself in one of them. Right finger hit subscribe and make every day a story to remember. Dizzy. The diamond bracelet sparkled like stars in the Paris sky and the cold, rusty prison bars. Amélie, a French girl with long, curly brown hair and eyes that sparkled with a thirst for adventure, traded her freedom for a moment of blind trust. Amélie took a last sip of coffee, its gentle bitterness melting in her throat. That French girl, with long curly brown hair and a red leather jacket that stood out in the airport scene, had set foot in countless countries. She looked out at the blue sky, seeing herself destined for travel. But the return flight from this glorious journey in South America was not the end of a beautiful chapter, but the gateway to an unimaginable hell. She was sitting in the waiting area, her mind drifting with the last pictures of the blue sea and white sand. Suddenly a graceful shadow fell beside her. It was Marco, the villain, a foreign man with a black silk shirt and sunglasses that hid a calculating look in his eyes. He approached with the appearance of a gentleman in distress. "Marco. Excuse me, beautiful lady with the lovely curly hair." He bows a little, holding his shoulder in mock pain. "I'm Venezuelan, unfortunately I dislocated my shoulder. Could you do me a small favor? This black leather suitcase is too heavy for me, could you carry it through security for me? I'll meet you at the exit, I promise." Amélie looked at the shiny black leather suitcase, then at Marco's pained face. Her kind heart told her to help. A small, cold voice in her head warned her, but the young girl's kindness overrode all caution. "Amélie, I'm not sure anymore." She looked at the suitcase with concern. "But you seem to be in pain." "Okay, I'll help you. But make sure you wait for me at the exit, I don't want any trouble." She walked. The suitcase weighed heavily in her arms like a boulder. She tried to appear calm, a forced smile plastered on her face as she placed it on the security conveyor belt. Cold sweat began to break out. Every step the young girl took was a stab in her life, without her even realizing it. Then the most terrifying thing happened. The suitcase passed through the scanner, the piercing beep and the red light flashing continuously like a death omen knocking on the door. An elderly customs officer in a dark blue uniform stopped the conveyor belt. His cold gaze pierced the trembling girl with curly brown hair. "Customs officer. Miss French, please step aside. This is your luggage, right?" "Amélie. Yes. No, sir. It belongs to a friend. He has a sore shoulder, I'm just carrying it through for him." The policeman wasted no words. He quickly unlocked the suitcase and used his knife to slash the black lining. The musty smell dissipated, replaced by a horrifying image. The carefully wrapped packages of white powder were revealed. The entire airport waiting room seemed to stop breathing, and Amélie's face was as pale as a sheet of paper, her eyes wide with horror. "Customs officer. This is a prohibited substance. You have been arrested for international drug trafficking." Amélie fell to her knees, tears streaming down her cheeks. She tried desperately to explain, the sound stuck in her throat, but every word was meaningless in the face of undeniable evidence and clear proof. "Amélie. No, I don't know, I swear. A man asked me. I was just helping. Please believe me." But her despair could not change the cruel truth that was being exposed. When the police looked out of the waiting area, Marco had disappeared like a ghost, blending into the hurried crowd. He took advantage of the young girl's kindness and innocence to turn her into a mule for transport, then abandoned her in a moment. Amélie was handcuffed. There was a cold clang of metal on metal, and she was led away in a daze, her curly brown hair falling to hide her tear-stained face. The bright sunlight and fiery beaches were replaced by the cold, damp bars of a prison cell. Amélie, who loved freedom more than life itself, was imprisoned in a foreign prison. The diamond bracelet she wore now served as a bitter mockery of her gullibility. She hugged her pillow and huddled in a dark corner, her gray prison uniform loose, each breath a belated regret. She told herself, "I have exchanged my whole life, all my trips and the sky of Paris, just for a little misplaced kindness. Traveling has taught me to trust people, but that trust has destroyed me." She stood on the quiet street, looking at the newspaper with old news about her case, her face mature, no longer naive. Freedom was priceless, and vigilance was the only shield to protect her on the dangerous roads of life ahead. Kindness must be accompanied by a keen sense of vigilance. Never, out of a moment of gullibility, take, hold, or carry anything for a stranger, especially at an airport or international border. Gullibility can cost you your life and liberty. If Amelie's story of painful awakening touches your heart, subscribe and hit the notification bell so we can explore more profound and meaningful life lessons together. Share this video to protect your loved ones.